Um, we are here tonight. It's Thursday, May 7th, 2020. The time is approximately 6:34 p.m. We're here for the public hearing regarding the City of Deer Park, Sycamore Township Joint Economic Development District. So we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. I'd like to do a roll call. Mr. James?
Here.
Mr. LaBarbera?
Here.
Mr. Weedman?
Present.
Thank you, gentlemen. So the next item on our agenda is the law director's comments. So for the members of the public out there, good evening. My name is Deepak Desai. I am the law director for Sycamore Township. We are here tonight to hold a public hearing on the proposed City of Deer Park, Sycamore Township Joint Economic Development District. The proposed district runs along Kenwood Road and is bordered to the north by Happiness Way and to the south by property commonly known as 7887 Kenwood Road. I would like to share a document with everybody just so you can get a visual of what we are talking about. So if you will bear with me, I will pull this document up. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. So this document here, the red lines show the proposed district. So again, runs along Kenwood Road to the north Happiness Way, and to the south you can see that 7887 Kenwood Road parcel. Just one other document, that of course is how the property currently exists. As we all know, this property is under construction and will be reconfigured. And so, can everyone see the document I just pulled up, the new one?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, as you can see, we've got a hotel here, and then let me scroll up just a little bit. We have an office right here. So once the property is constructed, this is the general area that we're looking at. And again, the red hash lines show the JEDD boundaries. Okay, so for the record, I would just like to note that notice of this hearing was provided 30 days prior to the actual hearing date. That was done by publication in a newspaper of general circulation in Sycamore Township. Also, I'd like to note that we did on April 7th send a petition to the property owner within the proposed district asking for the consent to the district, and we have received that signed consent back. So some of the prerequisites under the revised code that are required, we have satisfied. Generally speaking, the purpose of the district is to promote collaborative economic development between the City of Deer Park and Sycamore Township, and to create job and employment opportunities within the district. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to allow for the public to testify and submit any documentary evidence they might like to the Board of Township Trustees for their consideration in deciding whether to approve the proposed agreement between Deer Park and Sycamore Township, creating the Joint Economic Development District and providing for its operations. So with that, we'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is swearing folks in. It's going to kind of be combined with the next item, which is public comments. Just a reminder to all of us that as we have members of the public come to speak, we will need them to state their name and address, which I'll ask them to do, and then I'll administer a short oath. Are we going to do that, Mr. Ebel, on a en masse basis, or are you going to let people in one at a time?
I believe individually, unless you wanted me to bring them all in and then mute one of them.
No, I think that's fine. We only have a handful of people from the public, is my understanding.
Correct. There are two currently in the waiting room, a Mary Ann Lucas and a Nancy Wells.
Okay, well, why don't we go ahead and get started with whichever one you choose to do first.
Mary Ann Lucas is being admitted right now.
Good evening, and welcome to the public hearing on the proposed joint economic development district between Deer Park and Sycamore Township. Can you see us and hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. We can see and hear you as well. My name is Deepak Desai. I'm the law director for the township. We understand you want to make some comments, provide some testimony. Before we get started with that, could you please state your full name and your address, please? Can you see us and hear us okay?
She needs
Yes. Double.
Okay, great. We can see and hear you as well. My name is Deepak Desai. I'm the law director for the township. We understand you want to make some comments, provide some testimony. Before we get started with
Deepak, if I may, I believe she has the Vimeo live link on a computer where she is that she needs to turn the volume down. That's why she's getting feedback.
Okay. Miss Lucas, if you could turn off or pause your live stream, I think you're getting feedback because you're in a dual setting right now.
Vimeo live link on a computer where she is that she needs to turn the volume down.
Yeah, if you could turn the volume down on the live
Trying to
link.
find the live link. The only one I see.
If you could turn off or pause your live stream, I think you're getting feedback because you're in a dual.
I can't find the Vimeo.
Yeah, if you could turn the volume down on the live
Trying to
link.
find the live link. The only one I see. I'm sorry. All I have open. Okay. Got it.
All right,
Sorry,
great, thank you.
Sorry.
No, we're all learning the new technology, so no worries.
Vimeo is new to me.
So if you could please state your full name and address, please.
Mary Ann Lucas, 4087 Belfast Avenue, 45236.
Thank you. And I'm just going to swear you in real quick. If you would please raise your right hand.
I'll affirm.
Okay, that's fine. Do you, I have to think about how I work that in. So do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Please go ahead.
This is not really a comment as much as a question. What are the advantages and disadvantages to Sycamore Township of this JEDD? And what are the advantages and disadvantages to Deer Park?
I can answer that in some detail, but I'll try to do it in a little bit more of a summary format. So the main purpose of the Joint Economic Development District is to provide for economic growth, to create jobs, and to provide hopefully for the welfare of both the township and the city by doing that. As a result of the Joint Economic Development District, there's also a commitment to provide enhanced police services, fire services. As you may know, the property is going to be commercial, if you will, in nature. And so we anticipate that there will be a need for greater support by Sycamore Township with its fire, EMS, and police. So those are some of the items that the Joint Economic Development District is designed to serve.
Again, what are the advantages to Sycamore Township of having this? And what are the disadvantages? The only one I can see so far is that Sycamore must provide the police and EMS, et cetera.
So there will be a board set up if the contract is approved, and that board will oversee the district. They can do a number of things. If they so decide, they can impose an income tax on the net profits of the businesses operating within the district. They can also impose an income tax on the employees operating within the district.
Then what is the advantage to Deer Park other than not having to provide EMS and police?
So EMS under the proposed contract, Deer Park under the proposed contract would act as the collection arm. So they would actually be taking care of getting the tax notices out, collecting the taxes. They would keep a portion of those and then distribute a portion of those to the township.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question.
May I chime in on that?
Absolutely.
Just to explain, ma'am, and you may be familiar with the other zones around the mall area. Sycamore Township about 8 years ago put in joint economic development zones, which is legally a slightly different thing, but it imposes an income tax in partnership with communities around us, and they're paid a commission for collecting it for us. This equalizes that because the area where the project is going in, where this JEDD would be imposed, used to be residential, and the lines were carefully drawn to leave out any residential property so that we weren't taxing people who just lived here but didn't work here. Now that there will be a commercial building there, this is the mechanism under state law where we put in place the income tax on the commercial buildings that will be there that are surrounded by buildings where people are being taxed.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. I think we're ready for the next member of the public.
Nancy Wells. I believe Nancy is with us, but no video I don't see.
Let's see. Let me scroll over here. I see it's connecting.
Oh, it was there for a second, and then it popped off.
Maybe let's give her a moment to see if she can reconnect with us.
There's, yep.
Doesn't look like Nancy.
Looks like she's connected but has no audio connection. She might not have enabled use computer audio through Zoom to do that. The participant list just shows a camera for her with the camera off and no audio at all.
Yeah, and the video screen looked like it was from a phone because it was a portrait view. Okay, there's the audio checked. Now it's muted. Let me see if I can. There we go.
Video.
There we go.
Good evening. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Miss Wells, can you hear us?
Yes.
Good. My name's Deepak Desai. I'm the law director for Sycamore Township. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we get started, if you could please state your name and address.
My name is Nancy Wells, and I live at 7837 Quartermain Avenue.
Thank you. And just because this is a public hearing and you're going to be providing comments, I do need to just swear you in. So if you could please raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Please go ahead with your comments.
Oh, I'm just listening right now. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Did you have any questions or anything we could answer for you?
No, but I'm sure others will, and that's why I was trying to call in. So go ahead with your meeting. I'm sorry.
Okay. I think our video producer will probably take you out of this video room you're in now, and you can continue to live stream us. Are you able to do that?
Walk me through that, please. I'm sorry. I'm just new at this.
Okay. Did you enter through a link for coming to the public hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You
Yes.
want to continue to use that link to monitor the hearing.
Or we could just mute her.
Yeah.
Can't we, Rob?
Yeah, we can. She can, if it's easiest for her. We'll just.
Yeah.
I will mute her, and then she can just sit and listen and watch. That way.
Is that okay, Deepak?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Mr. Ebel, are there any other individuals who are looking to comment or provide testimony?
Beth had supplied me with 2 other names, but neither of the 2 are currently in the waiting room. William Stock and Lori Stefano. Neither are here.
Okay. Well, I do think we have one comment that was mailed in, that Mr. Wark is going to read. So hopefully those other 2 individuals will join us in the meantime. I do, just in case anybody was wondering, while we do like to swear in live witnesses, it's not uncommon for these type of public hearings for people, it may be inconvenient for them to come for whatever reason, just send in a written comment, and we are always happy to read that for the board's consideration. So Mr. Wark, if you have that, if you'd like to go ahead, please.
Yes, this is from Jay Janis, and he has basically a question, and I'll read it. In that there is no occupied existing structure that is open to the public at this time in the proposed new JEDD in Sycamore Township, Ohio, what is the projected monthly net income that Sycamore Township, Ohio believes that they shall receive if and when this JEDD may be passed and goes into effect? Who made the projection and when?
Well, that is a good question. I offhand do not have the answer for that, but I would be happy to look into that for Jay and provide Mr. Wark a response that you can then forward to him.
Okay.
I believe there were projections that were stated in some of the hearings on the approval of the project, weren't there? Maybe Mr. Weidman or Mr. Porter or Mr. LaBarbera might recall.
Yeah, actually, there were. I believe the property taxes would yield. I want to say after the TIF that we would have we would yield about $375,000 a year based on hotel tax and the JEDD without the property taxes, because the property taxes were being used in the TIF for public improvements.
Mr. Weidman, when we dealt with Capital was going to give Deer Park High School, I believe, $1.2 million the day they broke ground. Do you know if that's happened or not?
I believe that has taken place, but I can't attest to that for sure. I'm not positive, but I believe it's already been taken. They've already issued that check.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Ebel, any other members of the public that have entered the waiting room?
Let me check. Nope, just Mary and Lucas.
Okay. Well, the time is now 6:52. We are always certainly open to answer any questions outside of these meetings as well. But sticking to our agenda, and since we do have a 7 o'clock meeting coming up, I think the next item on our agenda is an adjournment. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.